Hey everybody, I want to remind you about the Beans and Bags tournament coming up on Saturday, October 26th between 1 and 5 p.m. Come on out, bring your families. We're going to have a cornhole tournament and a chili cook-off. We hope to see you there. Also, the holiday party is coming on Saturday, November 16th at Laurel Park. It'll be around 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. We hope to see everyone there.
Welcome to the Fire Away Podcast. Podcast that is the Fire Away Podcast. Oh yeah, here we go. Let's do it.
All right, welcome back to another episode of the Fireway Podcast. I am your host, Mark Meyer. Matt Williams will be joining us shortly. He probably stopped for his 13th energy drink of the day on his way in this morning, so he's running a little behind. But I wanted to just say, check us out on Instagram, Fire_Away Podcast on Instagram, and catch up on all these episodes anywhere you get your podcasts. We're on all major platforms right now. And I want to welcome our guest today, the one, the only, Miss Ryan Malloy. Hello, Ryan. Thank you for joining the show.
Hey, Mark. How are you?
I'm doing good. So we were talking a little bit off mic about, things to get to know Ryan. So you're fairly new to Fireline, right? How long have you been here?
Almost 2 full years.
2 full years? So
Actually, what's this
today
October?
is the second.
Oh, two years in a few months.
2 years and a few months. So
Yeah.
that's fairly green, but not too green,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You're in the door now. You know how things are working around here. So Kelly and I were actually talking. Did you start in monitoring?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I wasn't sure. I know we had been doing monitoring, but not for that long. So I wasn't sure if it was after you had started or if you were. So you were kind of brought in the door for monitoring.
Yeah, well, Stephanie was doing monitoring at first, and then I came in.
So it's a very small department from what I
Yes.
understand, right? Is it really? I said just seen it on the Firefly, right? It's 4 of you?
It's 3 of us.
3 of you.
Yes.
So, okay. I thought there was 4. So who all's in the monitoring?
Me, Ted, Richter, and Angelo Santos.
And Angelo Santos. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you're the main go-to, the coordinator there?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
all the phone calls all day, every day?
Yep, that's me.
So with monitoring, right, do you get a lot of off-hour stuff? Or does that go to a third party? How's that work?
Kind of both. So we do have our 24/7 central station, but most of my customers, I just give them my number and have them call me because they rather talk to me.
Okay. Well, I don't blame them. So let me ask you this, because I am ignorant to this, and if you're listening, I'm sorry, other departments, but I know fire extinguishers and emergency exit lights, and I'm starting to learn a little bit more about the pre-engineering side now that I'm almost 2 years into that. But I don't really know a lot about monitoring. So can you explain to me a little bit about what monitoring or what we do here at Fireline as monitoring goes?
So we have a few different types of monitoring, but mostly we just monitor like fire alarm and sprinkler systems, as well as like elevator and area of refuge / AORs. Pretty much just getting the signals from the panel or like any emergency calls from the elevator, send them over to our central station, and then dispatch so that everybody's safe.
So I mean, it is what it is, right? It's you're monitoring the alarms, and so it is what I thought it was, but I just didn't want to.
It's like it's like boring a little bit, but it's
you're on standby, right? There's this way there's somebody there if something happens that we're there to be making sure someone get dispatched to this alarm that's going off. So it would be, I'm not going to I'm sure there's a ton of 911. I was about to compare it to like a 911 operator, right? But if it's a slow day, you have to be ready. You know what I mean? You have to be ready for that signal to come in and kind of go from there.
Yeah.
You liking it? Do you like it?
Yeah, I love monitoring. Luckily, like I'm not the actual, like one of the actual like dispatchers for like the central station. So I usually just deal with like our direct customers. Like I don't have to worry about calling the police for them or the fire department.
Send it to them and dispatch them, and then they go.
I would really hope they don't call me if there's a fire. There's
So
nothing
why didn't
I
you
can
call
do.
911 first?
My friends actually tease me about that all the time. They're like, so people call you when they're having a fire? I'm like, I really, really hope not. Can't do anything for you. I'm going to be panicking with you. I'm like, did you call 911?
I get the same feeling. Even my daughter thinks I'm a firefighter. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
that's not what I do. Can I ride in your fire truck? I don't have a fire truck. People don't know what we do. They don't know what fire protection is. Like we're if we do our job, hopefully they don't have to do their job. Is the way I try to explain it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Kind of
Right.
It seems to make sense to me, at least when I say it out loud. So you've been here 2 years. You've been doing monitoring. Is this your long term goal? Do you have any, bigger sites in mind here? You just happy? You just want to kind of.
I don't know. I love Fireline. I definitely see myself being here for a while. But I do kind of want to move. I would say probably more into like the customer experience, like account management type
Okay.
of.
So almost like
Situation.
what Fred's doing with like the.
Yeah,
Okay.
kind of. But I mean, it's weird because I would kind of still want to do it exclusively for monitoring.
Okay.
I mean, I love all our customers, but
And monitoring's starting to grow, right? Like
yeah,
we're
yeah, yeah.
definitely
We
working
have
on growing it. And
yeah, we have a lot of accounts. So.
that's good. Well, yeah. So maybe down the road as we grow, because I tell people all the time, we're not getting any smaller.
No, seriously.
You're not stopping this train. So that's good. That's good to know. And I know you're part of the customer service committee now, and we're doing a lot of things. And I will say shout out to Fred, who's not here today, but it has come such a long way over these last 4 years of the customer service committee. And when Fred has stepped in, we've started to really change gears and make some progress. And Fred stays on top of a lot of the projects that we're working on in the customer service committee. Because, we all have our day jobs.
Right.
We're all doing other things and we're distracted. Even in the customer service committee meetings, I know I'm guilty of being distracted by other things during these meetings. And Fred keeps us on course and he makes sure that we hit our tasks and get things done. So it's good that I think we have some exciting things that are coming down. The Beans and Bags tournament, which is some fun things that we're putting on. But even the some of the projects that we're not ready to talk about yet we're working on is great. Last year I think you were a big part of the Christmas one that we rolled out, right? With the search, what would they call it? The scavenger hunt. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you were a lot behind that. So, it says a lot, I think, about the company when you get the employees that are willing to do other things like join the customer service committee or have a podcast.
Right.
You know what I mean? And get on a podcast. It's crazy. We talk about how lucky we are to be able to come to work and do a podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean? So we're trusted to get our work done, and we always do. But this is a great benefit of our if you choose to listen, great. But it's
super cool.
We put it out for our employees, right? It's to get to know one another. So, kind of speaking of that, I'll use that to transition into getting to know Ryan a little bit outside of monitoring and what you do here, or what you do outside of here. You got children, husband?
No.
No?
I have, I mean, technically I do have a daughter. Her name is Jinxie. She's 7, I think. This is her. She's a dog.
I thought it was going to be a cat. I honestly thought it was going to be a cat.
But it's definitely a dog person. No offense to all the cat lovers out there.
That's okay. Cats suck. I got 2 of them.
Yeah.
Dogs are way better. So Jinxie, she's 7. Yep. Congratulations, dog mom.
Thank you.
Yep. She your first?
Yeah, she's my first.
Okay.
Probably will be my only because
I don't know. They're hard to give up.
I know. I kind of want to get her like a sibling, but I don't know yet. We gotta, because she's very selfish. She doesn't.
Yeah.
Like
what type of dog is she?
She's a mix between a terrier and a Malinois. So
she's big too then.
She's small. She's really small. Yep.
I thought the Malinois were.
Yeah, the Malinois are giant, but like the terriers are small.
Oh, so she just how did they? I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know.
Exactly.
Stepping stool, right? So. That's an odd, but she got a lot of energy.
She's pretty crazy. She's like a mini police dog, so she's like really conflicted a lot.
Chase for us dads out there that are watching Paw Patrol. Kelly knows what I'm talking about. You'll get there one day. You planning on having children? Real children?
Maybe.
Stick with the dogs.
What year is it? Maybe like 8 years. Or
all right. Well, look,
that.
I'm not going to ask you your age or any of that stuff.
No, it's okay. I'm only 24.
Okay. So don't.
Yeah, there's a little.
If you can wait forever.
Yeah.
Seriously. Hey, look, kids are great and all, but if you don't have to have them, don't. That's good. That's awesome. Dogs are a lot of work too, though. There's no getting around traveling with a dog or trying to go on vacation with a dog, and it's probably just as hard to find a babysitter for your dog.
No, it is.
Than it is for your actual kid. And I know putting them up in a kennel is extremely expensive.
I can't do that. I can't. I got it. She has to have a very serious like babysitter vet process, cause she's anxious. She has like really bad separation anxiety, and she doesn't bite, but she will like bark at you really, really bad. And a lot of people don't have the patience and they're scared of her. But she's really the sweetest thing ever. So I don't really go away that often because she, she'll miss me. But I'll leave her with her grandma. So.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Her grandmom, your mom.
Yeah.
So she signed up. She's cool being a grandmom to the dog.
Yeah.
She's all in for that, huh?
She was her mom at first, and Jinx was my sister. But
Oh,
then my mom
okay.
was like, when I moved out, she was like, "Oh, actually, take your dog," and I was like,
Your dog now.
"Yeah." I was like, "Oh, okay," and I got her. So.
All right, so we know you're a dog mom, and I'm sure that keeps you plenty of busy outside of work. And you said something to me right before we started that you just absolutely love to play Fortnite.
I love playing Fortnite. Make sure you guys download the new season. It's Marvel Doomsday, and Spooktober is coming up. So, all new skins.
Okay, listen, I'm stupid when it comes to this stuff, and everybody who's listened before knows that. You got to explain to me, like, what is it? What console are we playing this on? Is this a computer game? Is this?
It's you can play it on different platforms. I play it personally on the PS4 Pro. I'm sorry, I'm lying. The PS4, just the PS4. It's actually a terrible game, but it's really good and addictive. It's like a war kind of game, like I guess similar to Call of Duty or like Apex, if anybody knows what that is.
I mean, I'm familiar with Call of Duty. I've watched people play. I've watched my nephew play Fortnite, and I honestly don't get it.
It's
Yeah.
Like everybody who plays Fortnite, like the running joke is that the game is absolutely terrible. Like,
but they just
but you have to play it. The skins are good. Like everything about it is bad, but it's really good at the same time. It's just super silly.
So I'm 20 years older than you. What is a skin? I don't know what you're talking.
A skin is like it's like your character that you put on, like kind of like Mortal Kombat, but those are obviously
so that
characters.
makes sense. Okay,
yeah, so but the skin is
characters.
like like my most recently acquired skin. Actually, I would be lying if I said it was The Incredibles, but it's Daredevil. Do you know who Daredevil is?
Yep.
Okay, so they have a Marvel.
Is that Ben Affleck?
No.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he did in the original one.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking about the Netflix one.
The good one. Which one was the good one?
The Netflix one? Yeah, it was. Listen, my friend got me turned on to it, and
it was who played it in Netflix. Do you know
I
who
don't
it was?
know the guy's name.
We don't have our S&I guy here, Mike Sirac, yet, so we could check into.
I'm sure Mike, if you
Mike would definitely know. He'd be already all over it. Yeah, you would love the Nerdcast that we were going to do with Kelly, Mike, and Joe Parmer, where they're just going to talk about video games and all this other stuff that they like, Dungeons and Dragons and.
I've
Harry
always
Potter.
wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons. I never have.
You into Harry Potter and all that stuff?
I love Harry Potter.
See,
actually,
you would love this podcast that we're going to do.
Gary Cox, his wife, planned a vacation for me and my mom last year. She did amazing, by the way. So everybody, shout out.
Yes.
But before we went, she was like, because we were going to Orlando to Disney World, she was like, you have to watch Harry Potter because they have the Wizard World out there. I've been addicted ever since.
So, all right. So I'm not opposed to it. I know it was super popular when it came out. I've never seen it, but I have a 5-year-old at home. What age do you think would be appropriate for her to start getting into it? She's never going to Disney. I'm not going to say never. I don't plan on taking her to Disney. Like, we're going on a Disney cruise, but I'll sit down and watch Harry Potter movies with her if she gets into it. But she's now, so just to give you a reference now, she's into all the cartoon movies.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? And we're going old school. Like, we got her watching all the old school cartoons too. Now she likes Looney Tunes and Popeye and all that stuff. What is but Disney princesses, she likes that. But reality movies, like with actual people, they're hit or miss with her.
I'm kind of with her on that too, low key.
Yeah,
though.
so I want to get her into it. I know people who have sat down with their children and watched the Harry Potters. I think she might be close. Like, she loves the magic. She loves all that kind of stuff.
I would say maybe like 7 or 8 would probably be good.
I would give it a couple more years.
Because
so I'm very weird, and I know I'm talking a lot, but
no, you're
if a movie gets too old, then I'm like, I'm not watching.
Yeah, because it's like the effects are kind of bad. Yeah. And on top of that, the Harry Potter movies are kind of long. Like
which is fine too. So we do it like we'll have movie nights at our house, and they typically last 2 to 3 days because you get 40 minutes in, and then their attention span's gone. And we're like, all right, well, we'll pick up. I think we're on Toy Story 3 now for like the 3rd week in a row of Toy Story 3. We just can never seem to finish it. But so what's the other one? There's a Harry Potter. What's the other one that was really popular? Lord of the Rings.
Never seen Lord of the Rings.
So they're not like similar. No,
Not to my
no,
knowledge. The
no.
most I know about Lord of the Rings is like little jokes I caught from Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, which I love. That's a
I lo-
fantastic show. I miss it. I still watch the reruns on
Oh
TBS
yeah,
all the time.
I have the DVD set because like the DVD, not cassette tapes. Oops,
Yeah.
sorry everybody.
Well, get it
But,
good
like,
on
the
you for
DVDs.
knowing what a DVD is. They're still there. Hey, Redbox just finally went out of business. I
Did
seen
they?
that. Yeah.
I still see those sometimes. I'm like, what's,
Yeah, they're
what's
pulling
in
them out
there?
of all the Walmarts and stuff, and I think they even discontinued the app on like smart TVs now.
That's
so.
crazy. I'm kind of, I don't know. I hope they don't come after me. That might be my fault. I have so many Redbox movies that I just flat out never return.
What's the statute of limitations on Redbox CDs? That's hilarious.
I don't know, but I
That's
have so many. My mom I used to stress her out about it because I would not return them for like days at a time. She's like, we're not doing it anymore.
I love that. Like it used to be something about renting a movie and just the anticipation of you get home, whatever you do, and you're like, oh, we're gonna put this movie in later on tonight. And now it's like, I can just stream anything I want. It's almost not as fun.
It's not as fun because then there's too many options.
Yeah.
You can't decide on what you want. Like me and my mom, we would for the longest time, we would on Fridays, my dad would get home from work, we would make sure he had his 12-pack of Coors Light. He would do that. Me and her would watch a movie. And we would go to Lucky Bamboo over in Randallstown and pick out a red box from the food line that was right there. And then that would be the last time we saw the movie until like a month later. She's like, did you ever return that with your dad? And I'm like,
got it back.
No,
Never.
it's sitting right here in the couch somewhere.
That's awesome.
Sorry.
Yep. It used to be one of my favorite memories as a child was my dad and I would go out on Friday nights and pick out a movie, and we'd wait for my mother and sister to go to bed, and we would stay up and watch a movie together.
That's super cool.
Yep. And now, like you said, it's definitely so many options. And first of all, I don't know what what am I getting? Am I going to get on Prime? Am I going to get on Paramount? Am I going to get on Netflix? What am I going to watch it on across? And then trying to get my wife to commit to something to watch is impossible. I don't care. And then I put something on. Why'd you put this on? Because you said you didn't care.
But
So
you
yeah,
picked
it's
wrong,
a lot.
though.
Yeah, it's a lot different. Well,
Yeah,
that's good though. That's good that you
streaming is
guys have that.
crazy.
But it's also good to know that you're hoarding Redbox CDs. So
Yeah,
that's
I
pretty
have.
cool.
What was the last thing I took out on Redbox? I don't know if the Joker movie,
Okay.
the one the newer one that came out recently. That when I first moved into my old apartment, I rented that because I didn't have any internet or anything, so I put that in the PlayStation, and I never returned it. It's still
Sitting in the PlayStation.
It's not still. It might as well be. I have no idea where it is. It's like in a box of CDs with no case on it.
Yeah, we have someone. My mother-in-law gave my daughter a bunch of Jesus DVDs for us to watch, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, we don't have a DVD player, and we definitely do. I was trying to get her to keep them, and I'm always like, we definitely have a DVD player. I'm like, it's going in Bradley's room because I'm not sitting here and watching. So, you close with your mom and dad, and
yeah, they're both gonna listen to this podcast.
hi, mom and dad.
Yeah,
Ryan's mom and dad. What are their names?
Shout out to my dad first. I love you, Daddy. Say,
Hey,
well,
Daddy,
no,
12-pack of Coors Light. I'm on your team, bud.
He drinks Michelob Ultra now.
Yep, me
He
too.
switched
Hey,
up
look,
on me.
when we get up there, we got to watch. The Coors Light's got a lot of calories in it, man.
Yeah,
Michelob
that's
Ultra's
what he's saying.
only
He's like,
85
Michelob Ultra.
calories.
Yeah, he can't do it. And then me and my mom are besties. She's gonna listen to this. She knows I had to shout my dad out first, though.
Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
Daddy's girl, huh?
And till I die. And my brother, shout out to Bubba. Love you too.
All right, guys. Well, yeah, thank you for listening. Well, that's awesome, man. Like, I hope that, like, that's what I want, right? I tell you, I got a 5-year-old daughter, and I try so hard for her to be a daddy's girl. Right now, she's still on mommy's team most of the time, unless mom's yelling at her, then she's a daddy's girl. But I hear that as they get older, they turn into a daddy's girl. So we'll see. I got my fingers crossed.
If you ask my mom, I've been a daddy's girl since before I even came out.
Yeah,
like he would tell me to kick her, and I would just kick her as hard as I could.
See, that's what I was telling.
On the
Because
inside,
I wanted a girl. My wife wanted a boy, so I was like, well, then I wanted a girl. We had a girl. She's already going to be on mine, but her and my wife are identical. Like, their personalities are so the same. So it's like, two trucks head-on collision every day.
Yeah, you'll definitely be her favorite when she gets older. Then probably.
I think so too. Like, they're
Yeah.
going to bump heads, and I'm going to be like, I am definitely picking sides. You know what I mean? Like, it is just fun to. It's cool, man. It's a good relationship. Has your dad ever watched a dog too? Does he like Jinxie?
My dad actually hates dogs.
Okay.
Well, I'm not gonna say he hates them. He does not like them at all. But he loves me. He's never really met Jinx like
Okay.
face to face. Every time she sees him, she tries to attack.
She
And
can feel it. She
yeah,
can
she
feel
like
that there's
because
dislikement. If that's a word.
me and my dad were neighbors for a little while at like the same complex. So she like he would come and drop me off stuff and vice versa, and she would see him and she would be so upset, and I would start yelling at her. But he'll let her come over and stuff. He's not gonna be around.
Just now?
Yeah, he's
nothing to do
like
with him, huh?
he's like
Come on,
nah.
Dad, give her a shot. Promise.
She's
Dogs
not.
are, dogs are awesome. She just wants love.
That's
She
what I'm
just
saying. If
wants
he
love
met
too.
her and like they like had a moment, he would be in love with her. And then, but then that can't happen because I wouldn't get my dad.
Yeah.
And I don't like to share my dad. I don't even like to share him with my brother. And he's the oldest, so
Sure, as I say, brother, older, younger.
yeah, he's 10 years older than me exactly. Okay. Yeah, so that was fun.
So you were a oops baby? Is that what you're trying?
Kinda, yeah.
Well, usually when there's a gap in between that large, it's it's something that will come into play there.
They were gonna have more, but my dad always was like, no, not yet. And then like my mom was pregnant with me, and he was like, I don't know, something about that one. That one we could keep for real. So we're like,
well, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why you just knew. That's
yeah,
why you come out of
knew.
Daddy's girl.
And I'm literally
spoiled. Is that what you're about to say?
Yes. I am, but I'm literally like a perfect mix of like both of my parents, like personality wise. It's insane. And of course, it's always get your daughter whenever but I'm just like my mother though.
Well, I'll tell you, as you get older too, you'll start to really feel your parents. Like both of my parents have since passed on. But I will catch myself saying something, especially to my daughter, and I'm like, oh my God, that sounded just like my dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I definitely catch those things in myself as you get older and their influence. So if you notice it already in your personality,
I
it'll
notice
get stronger.
it, and I hate it. And some days I just am like, oh my God, I sound just like my mother. Even when I talk to Jinx sometimes, I sound just like my mother. What's going on here?
Right? Because how would we sound like anybody else?
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
She's like, you want to be like me so bad.
So did you... you said Randallstown. Is that where you're at? Is that where you grew up at?
Yeah, the Randallstown area.
Mm-hmm. Okay. High school, Randallstown. What's the high school out
No,
there?
there is a Randallstown High School, but I went to Milford.
Milford, okay.
Yep, I went to Milford for the Magnet IT and programming.
Okay, what is that?
It's like computer science,
okay.
Basically.
So, all right. So let's talk about that for a minute. You go to high school for computer science. Mm-hmm. What happens? Why are you here?
Why am I here? I don't know. Computer science, I realized it was way too boring for me. I could not do it. I honestly, I'm assuming, whatever. I like kind of just finessed my way through that whole class. I knew enough to like get me going. I know how to we programmed robots and stuff. Whenever we did something hands on, I was super into it. But
any just lecture or
I can't do it.
I mean, that's fair enough. I think there's a time, especially at your age, probably while you were in high school, so probably 10 years ago or so, where they knew that technology was going to be the future, right? So they pushed a lot of these computer science classes on people, and like, you're going to need to learn technology, right? I heard that so much. You're going to need to learn technology. And I remember even my father, his work switched to where they were going at, like, the machines that they worked on were becoming, the technology was changing a lot. And they were like, you got to go back to school. Like, you have to learn technology. And they pushed it on a lot of people that, if you're a person like I feel like I'm the same way. Like, I need to be hands-on if I'm going to learn something. I can't watch you do it and then just do it. So
I can't
like,
do it at all.
You can YouTube anything now, right? If you want to fix something, you can YouTube it. I still have a hard time. I have to be putting my hands
I have to
on
like
it to learn it.
YouTube it and like be like have it right here and like be trying to do it, and I can't. Like, just watching you talk, I'm honestly not going to hear anything you said. Just kind of let me get my hands on it and go to it from there. But the robot part sounds like it would be pretty cool. I wish I had videos of it. When we were programming a robot, I had it going all over the classroom. It was super fun. I loved my computer science teacher, my magnet teacher, Mr. Chambers. He was great. Unfortunately, I hate tedious work, and it gets really bad.
Did you go to college afterwards?
No.
No college.
Mm-mm.
What did you do before you came here in between?
Right before I came here, I was actually working as a sales development rep for a company called Rendia. They work with like ophthalmologists and optometrists. It's like an eye care
Yeah.
type of thing. They sell a software to like help doctors explain and visualize what's going on inside the patient's eye. It was super cool, but it was pretty much just cold calling, and I
Okay.
was like,
Yeah, that's not a
can't do it.
fun job to do.
Yeah, I mean it was fully remote though, but
Oh, well, that's a benefit.
and then
right?
they led me here, and I don't know something about when I interviewed with Gary. He was like, "Yeah, that's it."
Oh, so did you know anyone coming in here?
Nope.
No. So that's unusual. You know, not most, but a lot of people here know someone. And
Yeah.
So I think more and more as we grow, I see a lot more people who just applied and kind of came on. But and Gary was on the podcast a while ago, early in our first year. He's an interesting guy. I know I've been watching Gary. I've been watching Gary do his running journey here lately, and when I found out he was in Disney commercials, it blew my mind.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
for Disney Cruises, I believe, and then his wife is a travel agent. I don't know if she does it full time or if it's her hobby, but I know she does.
I don't know. She's great at it though.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Well, that's good to know. You know her information?
Yeah, it's. Hold on.
That's okay. We can get it.
I know it. It's like MVP something. Cox MVP.
Okay. Well, we'll while you're checking it out, check out Gary Cox's wife. She's gonna put you on to the best Disney vacation for sure.
Yeah, all types of vacations.
Yeah, but if you go on, I
all
think
of that.
Disney's website, if you go into the reviews page, there's a commercial with Gary and his family on it. They actually shot it at his house. I think he talks about it in the podcast a little bit, but yeah, they shot it right at his house. I think his children are in it, and they've been on a lot of Disney trips.
Yeah.
Which I mean, like, if you're going to do a Disney commercial, you should probably know a little bit about Disney.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they're experts, like literally.
We're getting a lot of that, man.
Yeah.
Mike Sorak and Shannon Atkins and these people that just absolutely love Disney. They should be a sponsor here.
Yeah, they should sponsor Fireline.
Should get, as much as we talk about Disney and Disney products here.
Yeah, we gotta get like a Fireline like cartoon or like some type of
that
man or
little guy on there, little
Yeah.
Disney firefighter.
like a fire like logo on his chest.
Yeah, there
or
you go.
something.
We could do
there
that.
we go. We could do that.
Anybody from Disney listening to this, we're up for sponsors. We'll definitely put you out there to our 8 million listeners. So Ryan, I do appreciate your time today. I know you were a little nervous to get on here. I told you it was just going to be casual conversation, getting to know Ryan. And Ryan's mom and dad. What did you say their names were? Did you tell me their names?
My mom's name is Edna, and my dad's name is Stacy. Yes, I know the irony, and my brother's name is Stacy too.
Okay, Stacy and Edna. Hello. Mm-hmm. Your daughter's awesome. I'm glad she's here as part of the team. I'm glad she jumped on the podcast. And if you don't know this, I only asked her yesterday afternoon if she was free this morning. So we had a cancellation. It was awesome of her to jump on here and fill this time. So I really do appreciate you coming on. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea to get on here and kind of talk about themselves, which is hard for me to understand because I could talk about myself all day long. Me and Fred could just sit here and do hours about ourselves.
I think we would love that.
But I think people are tired of hearing about it. So no, thank you again for coming on. So there's a question I want to ask you that we ask everybody, and if you listened in the past, you know what I'm about to ask you. So what would the Ryan Malloy today say to Ryan Malloy walking in the door 2 years ago? What advice would she give that Ryan?
Pre-order the PS5. Pre-order the PS5. Pre-order everything.
I love where your life is at right now.
And spend gradually get more V-Bucks so you don't have to spend so much at one time.
I love it. Nothing to do with the career. Let's get this Fortnite
no
stuff ready to go.
No thoughts behind these eyes, just Fortnite.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong at all. You are in a great spot. And this has been awesome, Ryan. I really do appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for
and
having
joining
me.
the show. Thank you, everybody, for listening to another episode of Fire Away Podcast, and we will talk to you next time.